Hello everyone, welcome to online lectures on ECE. In this COVID-19 situation, all of you, please follow the instructions given by our government. Please stay home and stay safe. Follow the guidelines given by World Health Organization. Future is in our hands. So all of you, please stay safe. So now let's move on to this video. In this first lecture, we'll be discussing on basics of semiconductor physics. It is just to refresh the basic concepts which you have already studied in your earlier classes, your 12th class and your first year of your engineering. This will be very helpful to understand the concepts in upcoming lectures. So now let's move on to this video. Agenda of this lecture is to know what is a semiconductor, examples of semiconductor, types of semiconductor, and types of extrinsic semiconductor. Many people would have already been thorough on these concepts. I'm just saying that it's for the people who are new to this concept. Okay, so now let's see what is a semiconductor. So, semiconductors are materials which exhibit properties of both conductors and insulators. That is, they have electrical properties which are between conductor and an insulator. So, they can neither act as a good conductor nor a good insulator. Hence, they are termed as semiconductors. From the name itself, you can identify that they are partially a conductor or an insulator. So, semiconductors are the material which have the property between conductors and insulators. So, some of examples of semiconductors are silicon, germanium, gallium arsenide. As we all know that silicon is the most prominent and the most widely used semiconductors. So, throughout this lecture, I'll be using silicon as an example. Okay. So, what are the types of semiconductors? We have two major semiconductors. One is intrinsic semiconductor, others extrinsic semiconductors. We'll see in detail on each of the semiconductors. Intrinsic semiconductor. So, what is meant by intrinsic semiconductor? Intrinsic semiconductors are the purest form of semiconductors. As I said that I'll be using silicon as an example. So we know that silicon has an atomic number of 14 and each silicon atom has valence electrons 4 in its outermost orbit. So in a silicon atom 4 electrons will be there in outermost orbit. The electrons which are present in the outermost orbit are called valence electrons. Okay, and I have taken a silicon structure. This is the crystalline structure of silicon, where this picture shows 9 silicon atoms. As I said, there will be 4 valence electrons in each of the silicon atom. You can see there are 4 valence electrons shown outside the silicon, right? What happens here is each electron of a silicon atom shares or bonds with the electron of the neighboring atom. Here you can see I have mentioned as covalent bond, right? What happens is the electron of each silicon atom bonds with electron of neighboring silicon atom. So as you can see, there are no free electrons or very less free electrons left, and electrical conductivity here is very low. So this is the purest form of silicon where electrical conductivity is very low. So in order to improve its conductivity or electrical property, what we are going to do is we are going to do a doping process. We'll see what is doping and what are dopants. So in order to improve electrical conductivity, we are adding impurities to the intrinsic semiconductors to make it as extrinsic semiconductor. So as already discussed, As a pure silicon crystal, each of its valence electron bonds with electron of its neighboring atoms. Thus, the number of free electrons which are available for conduction is very, very less. So, electrical conductivity is greatly reduced. So, in order to increase or improve the electrical conductivity, addition of some impurities to a pure silicon semiconductor will be made, which makes it an extrinsic semiconductor. So, addition of impurities to a pure semiconductor is called doping process. So, impurities which are added are called dopants. So, I repeat, the impurities which are added to the intrinsic semiconductor are called dopants, and the addition of impurities to the pure semiconductor is called the doping process. Okay, so depending upon the type of impurity which we are adding to an intrinsic semiconductor, extrinsic semiconductors are classified into N-type and P-type semiconductor. Okay, so before moving into the types of extrinsic semiconductor, we'll see what are the types of impurities which will be added to an intrinsic semiconductor. Pentavalent impurities and trivalent impurities. From the name itself, we can identify the number of electrons present in its outermost shell. Penta represents 5. So pentavalent impurities have 5 electrons in its outermost shell. Tri represents 3. So trivalent impurities will have 3 electrons in its outermost shell. Some of the examples of pentavalent impurities are arsenic, antimony, phosphorus. Its symbolic representation is given in the parenthesis. Arsenic, arsenic is As, antimony Sb, phosphorus P. Trivalent impurities have 3 electrons in its outermost shell. Some of the examples are aluminium, boron, indium. Aluminium has a symbolic representation as Al, boron as a symbolic representation as B, indium In. So depending upon the type of impurities we are adding, it can be classified as N-type and P-type. Now we'll see N-type semiconductor. Okay, when a pentavalent impurity is added to a silicon crystal, it becomes N-type semiconductor. Let's see how. So here I'm taking antimony as an example for pentavalent impurity. Mostly antimony and phosphorus are the major pentavalent impurities used as an additive for silicon to make it N-type semiconductor. Okay, here in the silicon crystal I've added Sb represents the symbol for antimony. Okay, as I said, silicon will have 4 electrons in its valence shell and antimony has a 5 electron in its outermost shell. What happens is when a antimony is doped in a silicon crystal, 4 out of 5 valence electrons of antimony shares covalent bond with electrons of the neighboring silicon atom. Okay, so 4 out of 5 electrons of antimony is bonded with electrons of silicon, as you can see here. 1 electron of antimony is left out. So there I have mentioned as free electron from Sb atom. Sb represents antimony. So this free electron will be used as a current carrying electron. Okay, so it has a negative charge. N represents negative type semiconductor. So when a pentavalent impurity is added, it becomes N-type semiconductor, leaving a free electron for current carrying conduction. Similarly, when a trivalent impurity is added, it becomes a p-type semiconductor, where it leaves hole. Here I have taken boron as a trivalent impurity. When a boron is doped to a pure silicon structure, a hole is formed from a boron atom. And here is the conclusion. So, intrinsic semiconductors are the purest form of semiconductors. To improve its electrical conductivity, impurities or dope. So, based on the type of impurity dope, extrinsic semiconductors will be classified as n-type and p-type semiconductor. If pentavalent impurity is doped into a intrinsic semiconductor, it becomes a n-type semiconductor. When a trivalent impurity is doped, it becomes a p-type semiconductor. So when a pentavalent impurity is doped, it leaves free electrons, whereas when a trivalent impurity is doped, holes are created. Okay. So from this, we can conclude that n-type semiconductors will have majority carriers as electrons, whereas p-type semiconductors will have majority carriers as holes. Okay. So hope everyone is clear on this video. I have not given the full details on semiconductors. I have just given an overview on what is a semiconductor, what are the types of semiconductor, and what are the types of extrinsic semiconductor, n-type semiconductor, p-type semiconductor. I have just given a overview on this concept. Okay, hope everyone is clear on this. So let's meet in next session, which is PN junction diode. Until then, it is bye-bye from Nishani Padmanabhan. Thank you. All of you, please be safe. Thank you. Bye-bye.